Hello everyone, and welcome back to Terrifying Bedtime Tales. I know many of them use these videos to fall asleep. Before you drift off, I'd love it if you could leave a comment letting me know where you're listening from around the world. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video. Every night at exactly 3:33 a.m., Jason's doorbell rings. There's never anyone there. No footprints. No footage, no explanation, but on the fifth night, the door is unlocked, and when he checks the hallway, someone is already inside. It started on a Wednesday. Jason was awake, scrolling through his phone in bed, the pale light glowing on his face. It was 3:32 a.m. when he heard it ding-dong. His heart skipped. He paused. Did he imagine that? Ding-dong. He sat up, the sheets rustling. The glow from the hallway nightlight cast long shadows on the floor. He lived alone. Nobody came by unannounced, especially not in the middle of the night. Cautiously, he crept to the door, barefoot on cold tile. He checked the peephole. No one. He opened the door slowly, heart hammering. Still no one. The street outside was empty, quiet. A faint mist rolled along the pavement. He stepped out onto the porch, checked left and right. Nothing. Just the faint flicker of a street lamp. Chalking it up to a prank or a dream, Jason went back to bed. The next night, it happened again. 3:33 a.m. Ding dong. He was ready this time. He bolted upright, grabbed his phone, and crept to the door. He pulled up his security camera app. There it was. The doorbell had rung, but the feed showed nothing, just static. His stomach twisted. Jason opened the door again. Still no one, but something felt off. The air was heavy, the kind of stillness right before a storm or a scream. He left the porch light on. Night 3. Jason was asleep when it rang. Ding dong. He shot up, drenched in sweat. 3:33 a.m. on the dot. But this time, the door was unlocked. He swore he'd locked it. He checked the cameras again. This time the footage showed a flicker, like something moved just out of frame. A blur of black, a shape. Jason slammed the deadbolt, his hands shaking. Night 4. He stayed up, armed with a kitchen knife. The lights all on. 3:32. His phone buzzed. A notification. Front door motion detected. He stared at the screen. The footage stuttered. Then it froze. Ding dong. Jason didn't move. He held his breath, gripping the knife. Ding dong. The hallway light flickered. Footsteps creaked from the ceiling. He lived in a one-story house. Night 5. He had the police over during the day. They checked everything. Nothing was broken. The doorbell worked fine. No signs of forced entry. Probably kids, they said. Jason didn't sleep that night. When 3:33 a.m. came, the doorbell didn't ring. Instead, there was a whisper, just behind him. "You let me in." He turned. No one there. But the door was open, and on the floor, where he swore he had locked it earlier, were muddy footprints leading into the living room. Bare, human-shaped, but wrong, too long, toes stretched out like claws. Jason doesn't live there anymore. The house is empty now, still for sale. But neighbors say the doorbell rings most nights, always at 3:33 a.m. And sometimes if you're standing outside, you can hear footsteps just inside the door, waiting. Absolutely. Let's ramp up the tension. Here's part 2 of the 3:33 a.m. doorbell. Things are about to get darker. Jason moved into a motel on the edge of town. Dingy walls, flickering neon sign outside his window. But it was far from the house, far from the door. Night 6. He stayed awake again, sat on the bed, all the lights on, staring at the clock. 3:32 a.m. Nothing. 3:33 a.m. Ding dong. Jason's heart stopped. Not possible. He was miles away. The motel didn't have a doorbell. Then a soft knock on the door. Tap, tap, tap. 3 slow knocks. Jason didn't move. He picked up his phone, hands trembling, opened the camera feed. The app glitched, flickered, and then he saw it. Standing in front of the motel door, a tall figure, pitch black, its face a blur, like it had been smeared, eyes stretched too wide, a grin that reached both ears. The feed cut to static. Jason backed away from the door. The knocking continued. Then it stopped. Silence. He waited, breath held, for what felt like hours. When morning came, he opened the door. Nothing. But etched into the wood, deep and jagged, were 2 words. Let me. Part 3. It's not just a doorbell. Jason called a priest. Not religious, but desperate. The priest listened, skeptical but concerned. Sounds like a demonic attachment, he said. Or worse. He said it only happens at 3:33. Jason nodded. That's the witching hour, the priest said. The time when the veil is thinnest. He sprinkled holy water, said a prayer, gave Jason a crucifix. Don't answer the door again, he warned. Night 7. Jason surrounded himself with salt, crucifix on his chest, Bible in his hand. The lights flickered. The clock struck 3:33. Ding dong. His motel door opened on its own. Cold air poured in. Jason screamed and backed into the corner. The crucifix began to steam. The salt line blew away like dust. And from the dark hallway, it walked in, taller now, more human, wearing Jason's face, but not his eyes. The eyes were empty. It looked at him, tilted its head, and whispered, "You answered once. That's all I needed." Jason blacked out. Morning. He woke on the floor, alone. But something was wrong. The mirror showed him, but it wasn't quite right. His smile didn't match the fear in his eyes. And when he left the motel, people stared. Not at him, but past him, as if they felt something following. That night, he didn't hear the doorbell.